Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Unreal Engine live stream. I'm your host, Alexander Pascal, your community manager, and joining me today, we have Tim Rapp and Jay Mattis, and also Chance, I guess. I mean,
Hey everybody, how's
he's
it
kind of a
going?
big deal, I guess.
We're out here at the show at E3. We're in a meeting room right now. Lots of fun things happening. We'll dive into that here in a sec. But thank you, Alex, for hosting us, and Shelley for working around the technical challenges of getting
Thank you
a
so
little
much,
tiny
Shelley.
screen from one coast to the other.
We were stressing her out pretty terribly, so I just wanted to, we definitely need to do a little shout out to her. Yeah, thank you all for joining us today. But, first, we got the news. So, let me switch this up because you guys are actually taking up my screen. All right, the news. There we go. So first things up, I just wanted to draw attention to this really nice blog post about exploring emotional engagement in VR. EVR Studios has been working on Project M, which is a gorgeous experience. They're in South Korea, making very intense, personal kind of project experiences. You kind of have to watch the video to get it, but it's what it is essentially that they've shown in this demo that they've been making, or teaser I should say, is a woman who kind of interacts with you emotionally but doesn't speak. You just kind of get a feel of her emotions from her facial expressions and kind of being in the moment. It's pretty intense.
It's really powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Yeah, you can see someone in this photo taking a look at it. I'm not going to play the video for you, but if you're interested in checking out VR, and I guess it's kind of like a VR and psychology thing, if you're interested in that, definitely check out this blog post for the VR project, Project M. Next up, we've got a new hotfix. This is the one that's including a hotly demanded fix for Crash Reporter. You can now, again, as you should be able to, opt out of sending a crash report, and there's a slew of other great fixes, but a lot of these have to do with GitHub, GitHub source control plugin fixes and a few other crash fixes. So if you've been having trouble with, GitHub plugin, or if you've just been tired of that crash reporter, just go right ahead and download that hotfix right now. It's on the launcher. It's available to everybody. So check that out. Cool. Exit out of that. And there you guys are again. But whoop, I'm gonna put this over
It's
your
funny
faces.
because without the program monitor, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, me picking my nose on accident or something, thinking I'm off camera.
Gosh, Shelby. Oh, right. So, sorry everybody. We need to get you a mic, Shelly, because they're not hearing your witty comments anymore now that we don't have the area mics. It's really doing a disservice to our audience.
That is the best idea.
So,
Shelley,
oh, sorry. Community spotlight. Back on track. I'm going to get my head back together here. Back on track here. This week's top karma earners on the Answer Hub are Vi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because that's a lot of vowels in a row. But Vi, Tamfoy, and Shadow River. Congratulations, you're our top 3 karma earners. I'll be giving out badges to all of you. Shadow River, I know you've got a badge because you've been around doing this for a while. I see a lot of our regulars also in this list, and also we have this awkward. Oh, is the awkward pirate ostrich? Thank you. Yes, thank you. The ostrich. Thank you, Shelley. That was very nice. You're on point with the infographics today. Congratulations to all of you. Thanks to everybody who's participated and helps out each other on the Answer Hub. We really love that you guys lean on each other, and good luck with next week's karma. Boop. And we're back to you guys. And
hey, friends.
all right. So last thing before we get to talking E3, I have some community spotlights to show off. Here we go. So Shelly, back to the main menu. Sorry if we're doing things a little bit odd today. We have the Skype machine and the regular streaming machine a little bit switched around right now so that it's easier for everyone from E3 to get to us. So if you're wondering why I keep switching back and forth, because it's a little different than usual, that's why. So now that that's done, let's see here. I'd like to bring attention to this Zarkopoulos. I never actually got to pronounce his name. I always read your kind of odd usernames and have a hard time with these. But Zark has made this Unreal Engine 4 Ratchet and Clank tutorial series. It's very specifically geared towards that kind of mechanics. So it's literally as many game mechanics from Ratchet and Clank that he could kind of reproduce in Unreal Engine, and It is a whole video series, explanation. It's the full shebang. Quick start, free assets, course lessons, which you can see the thanks Katatis because they are being hosted on one of our previous spotlights, katatisstudios.co.uk. So thank you so much for this. I always love seeing really great tutorial series, especially when they have a lot of, it's just about solid mechanic building. So cool. Pew. Next up. Exy had put this out a little while ago, but he brought it to my attention again because he's been keeping it up to date and just recently did the update for 4.12. But this is Exy's sound visualization plugin, and you can see that he's pretty badged up over here just because he's been around doing a lot of these. He's been spotlighted before for some other work he's done, but this is very quality visualization help. Not going to play the video here, but you can tell what these are, you know, kind of like the levels that are going to be moving around, and it's really cool. It's really pretty. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to get on to the next thing, but thank you so much, and definitely check out the example projects and all of the great videos that he's put up on the forum post. All right. Last thing up, I've put this on, not the community spotlight, but this was on the picture of the day before, Warrior's Pilgrimage, which is a really great project. And Shelly, we have a video clip, right? So let's play that real fast. All right. So all of you watching, you can see this is just like a small student project, but it looks like a AAA title. It was made by a team of 2 people, both of them students. X-Vampire is the one who posted it, but I think that's Arif or Audrey, one of the 2 of them in the team. It's a gorgeous game. It kind of reminds me of Jade Empire, just looking at it in that kind of style and setting, and just does great work with visuals. Really love the landscape work.
So how many years did you without this one?
Without this one, I think it's 17. I think it's 18. Hard for me to know. I have a lot of heroes.
You guys got some friends over there?
Can you hear next door, probably?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're sharing meeting rooms. There's a lot of setup happening right now.
Yeah, E3 is pumped full of people, so you got a lot of people going shoulder to shoulder. This game is just absolutely gorgeous. The walking animation, that light jog, I always love seeing that in a game where you have like the in-between phase of I'm walking, then there's a light jog into running. That shows care in the animation team. So this just kind of your opening cinematic for you, with a little bit of gameplay of walking around, but not showing too much. It's just absolutely awesome, and I really love that it's 2 people. This was also, it was brought to us through Jeremy from London is Unreal. So these guys actually won a contest over there, and so I'd like to say, like, you know, congrats to them. This is really excellent work. The images of it are great, and that trailer's just gorgeous. It's really astounding. Oh yeah, and the nice breakdown images and stuff. So it's really astounding to see a team of 2 people make something that looks like it was made by a team of 50 people. So excellent job. And we're back.
Yeah. On that note too, you talked about getting eyes on that project via the meetup group out there in London.
Yeah.
You know, how do people get on the community spotlight, Alex?
So in order to get on the community spotlight, there's quite a few different ways, but mostly it's reaching out to me and showing me what you've been working on, and you know, I might give you some suggestions to make it look really fancy, or if it's already really fancy, you know, I'll just put it right on the spotlight. And other things that we like to do is we work together with our meetup people. So people like Jeremy, he just reached out to me and said, hey, we're gonna hold a little contest over here, and whoever the winner is, could you spotlight them? And yeah, there's no hard, like, restricted rules. Just contact me, and, you know, we'll talk. It'll be a lot of fun. But I love getting stuff out of the community, because you just find, you know, people have been working on things that just pass right by without noticing them, and then if you bring them right to me, I want to show that off. So definitely keep bringing them to me.
And there's never a lack of amazing content being built by the community out there. Where it's been years now of just a wash of just amazing projects.
Every day.
Yeah,
it's just cool stuff.
So yeah, reach out and find us somewhere, right? Like we're always looking to find you and help share, you know, all your great work.
Yeah. If you can't get a hold of me, get Chance or Jess. You know, we're all here with
You can also
eyes
reach
wide
out
open.
to Tim or Jay too.
Yeah,
Oh
let us
yeah, you can
know.
send it right over to these guys. They it'd be so awesome. So yeah, Tim, Jay, how are you doing? You like an E3?
Yeah, yes. Been really busy leading up to it. We had a lot of preparation to do to get Disc Jam ready for the show, but
Oh yeah.
everything made it in time. And game's showing well. I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an interesting E3. You know, we announced the Unreal E3 awards in the past, earlier this year, where we're finally judging with the GamesBeat team at this moment, right? So those will be going out. We'll have announcements on that soon. There's including Disc Jam, over 70 Unreal Engine games at the show, from everywhere, from inside the booth to all over LA. I mean, E3 is becoming this citywide phenomenon. Right? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's really incredible. And so, yeah, when we found out that you guys were, making some news this week and we could come find you, of course, we wanted to see if we could bring you on and chat about what your experience has been like so far. So,
Sure.
so you're Disc Jam and
So we're Disc Jam.
We're High Horse Entertainment is the name of our
no,
studio.
you are Disc Jam.
We are Disc Jam. That's how seriously
actually-
we take our games.
that's very
development.
true.
We are our product.
Yeah, our first game is it's called Disc Jam. It's a Unreal Engine 4, of course, based multiplayer online action sport. Obviously, there's couch play, local play, but it's really sort of like in that esport Rocket League vibe where it's meant to just be local and online, kind of blur the line there, and just basically a competitive
Finite matches.
Exactly.
Right,
Right,
quick, 5-minute matches, I think is the average. And sort of invite a friend, jump online, play against other teams, stuff like that.
Rank ladders, casual, and ranked, and all that stuff.
And we had y'all out with us. Was it at Indicate?
Yeah,
that's
MBK was
what
the only other time we've shown it. Yeah, it's it's brand new IP. It's our first title, and we're just getting to the point now where we're finally starting to do a little bit of marketing behind it. So it's been like really, thankful to Unreal for just getting a little bit of spotlight on our project because it's been really, you guys have been great. Like Indicate was the first time we were shown it, and Unreal was like basically so helpful in getting the name. Like the big reason we're at E3 today, this week, is because of people who saw it at Indicate.
That's
I
great.
mean, everyone who had something to do with putting us here outside of Epic had seen it at Indicate, and that's surprising to us because that was so long ago, and yet like it was so central to us being here. So that was really awesome.
Yeah, it's when I first saw it, it's right up my alley. I love air hockey, and I love Super Dodgeball.
So it's like
the Game Boy Advance.
scratching your itch then.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
like the feel of that anxiety of those games, it's exactly what I want.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of like where this comes from. Is we are big fans of those types of games, and there aren't a ton that are online, and that's what we do well. We're both network engineers, and so we wanted to make online games.
You're both network engineers.
Yeah. So we worked for Activision for about like 10 years each,
Oh, that's
doing
Yeah. We did
mostly
the,
online gameplay stuff.
all the online stuff for Call of Duty, Guitar Hero, and Tony Hawk.
So this is
Like,
Oh, wow.
actually up your alley.
right. So
Yeah.
like, we've been doing the online. It's funny because Jay and I were sitting around, we're like playing a lot of these games like on our fight sticks and playing like old school throwback arcade games. We're like, these games are so fun. Like, why are people like making games like this online? And we're like, well,
Why are you making?
there's not a lot. I mean, that's kind of our wheelhouse. So like, we kind of just made that sort of the focus, and that's like kind of Disc Jam was born.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, exactly. I mean, we sort of feel like there's a whole class of gamers that sort of got dropped off the map when we went from one stick to two sticks. There's like, I think that's like a whole other level of complexity, control complexity that sort of lost people. And so,
There's
our
a
game is
window.
just
Yeah.
left stick moves you 4 buttons and that's it.
And that's
the
it.
depth is just in the actual gameplay.
So what are the 4 buttons do? Like, what are the actions you can perform?
You move around with the left stick. There, you're throwing the disc back and forth, right? The goal of the game is to throw the disc into the end zone past your opponent. So that's sort of the air hockey vibe. And so mainly when you're on defense, you don't have the disc. You're moving around. You're sliding with the X button,
Okay.
and then you're sort of passing with the A button if you're on PC, right?
Gotcha.
And then you can lob it and curve it. And there's a lot of sort of nuances to the way you're using the stick and sort of the different throws. You can sort of skip it along the wall. You can
Oh.
drop shot it. There's lots of different kind of.
I've seen
variety
some really amazing
Yeah, we just played some clips for it here, and I saw the one with the zigzag, and he actually like lobs one high and like throws it kind of like vertically.
Yeah, that's, the place we tried to get it to is that the accessibility should be a low accessibility curve, but the skill curve should be deep, and like just getting that in itself is a pretty tricky measure, and so we're pretty happy with where we're at with that right now, just based on how many people at the show have been able just to pick it up first game and start ripping off power throws and doing the special abilities, things like that. And that's what we wanted because, similar to a lot of those old sort of Mario sports games, like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, like just like, 4 or 5 buttons, and yet like you can get incredibly competitive at them. And there's a sort of, we feel kind of a lack of that sort of vibe, and it's hard to even say that about video games. Like, is there any gap that's not being filled right now? And so like we kind of, as like online guys, we want to just sort of like bring a sort of accessible experience, to hopefully like, a mass audience with just like the online PvP centric stuff.
So it's funny too, you talk about that era of going stick to stick, right? Like stick to sticks.
A lot of people fell off, and those people are playing mobile games.
At that same time, we also lost, the glam of like American Gladiators. So when I look at your game, you're not only you're bringing the theme of these super like overly juiced up dudes.
Totally.
Very future sort of American Gladiator vibes.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of like like the stylized kind of realism. Like the engine. We wanted to definitely play into Unreal Engine strengths, and like there's a lot of really cool stylized projects in Unreal, but just the rendering capabilities and like the photorealistic graphics are just such. It's no secret that's just like the bleeding edge right now out there. So that was a big part of. We wanted to keep it cartoony and silly, and it's like E for everyone type game. We were excited about like just keeping it sort of like slapstick and kind of funnier the better, and so like we have these like characters that are just so over the top, but rendered with just like realistic hair now, the new shades, like all this. So that was kind of like it's a fun little. When people see it, they're like, "This looks amazing." That guy, they love like responding to the feel of it, even though it's like in this photorealistic space. Like we're like happy with like that we're able to kind of play with that a little bit.
Yeah, it's just really exciting to see the overall gameplay too. I have a question for you about these particle effects. Like, how have you been kind of building this style and everything? You were really heavily inspired by any kind of aesthetic?
Well, I guess like the first aesthetic we're going, like chance to down the head, like the American Gladiators, like arcade was like what like the vibe was. It was really that. Like we have we have a pure ref thing. It's like all American Gladiators and the new show they brought back. So that was kind of like the original sort of feel for like, okay, what's this gonna look like in 100 years when people are playing crazy sports with lasers and that kind of like, and then just again like
Neo-American Gladiators.
Right? Yeah. Like we've kind of like. We've been using the Unreal technology since the last engine generation, and just a lot of the things that they do well, especially like the emissive stuff. It's just such people respond to it so powerfully. You know what I mean? You wouldn't believe like we added particles as sort of like a separate pass post indicate, and it was like night and day. People were like, this game looks 10 times better. What'd you guys do? It's like particles. It's like, huh. Yeah, like a lot of that emissive stuff. It fits the whole sort of like lasery sort of vibe. It was really hard not to go just. You know what we should just do? Just make Tron. Just do Tron. It's really hard not to.
Right.
You can't
constantly
miss.
being like, that's definitely the path to least resistance.
Yeah. Let's turn all the lights off and just put all the lasers on everything.
It's also kind of a hot topic right now because you're seeing these games that are like in VR disc throwing, right?
Right.
Like, and there's somebody's making a new Tron game right now too. So it's just kind of funny to see like that kind of theme start to permeate in other areas as well. But you guys are approaching it in a completely unique way. I think that's it's super cool. You talk multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
It's like tennis style. So you have singles and doubles, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, since you have like a smaller court to work on, like how do you balance the players' movements and what their abilities are for 4 players on the screen at once, right? Because it seems like you have just coverage, right?
I would say that like one of the biggest design challenges was it has to be fun for 2 or 4, and on the same court real estate. We early in dev we toyed with the idea of like bringing it in for singles, and our court's actually all modular pieces that can actually suck in and animate out.
Oh, cool.
And we're like, yeah, this is gonna be rad. But then we think it's a stronger design that it works for both. And what we're finding is that you mentioned the design, balancing the player speed and throw power, and having all the players have different vibes and how they should play differently. They should have unique play styles.
You want your player to identify with the character. Like, I'm going to be Joe.
Exactly. And like a lot of the customization goes to that too. That we have we're showing at E3 for the first time that we completely just built a brand new customization backend. It's all online hosted stats. You can customize your character, skins, all that jazz is all on our new E3 build. But yeah, so like making those things work where like, you guys are obviously making Paragon and balance is such a key thing. And so getting characters that are able to keep it. Anyone should be able to let their skill win out versus like, oh, this guy's OP or not. That's the hardest challenge, right? Like,
and I think also what's really interesting about it that we found is that, you know, so first of all, right, it's just the two of us making this game, and so the fact that we have
nothing's been contracted, everything's been done.
Yeah, and but the fact that we have a like 2v2 mode is tough for us to test, right? And so like getting 4 human players.
Controllers in each hand, like, oh, make it work.
Yeah,
that's not. It's totally that.
That's real. That's what we're doing. So you know, we think it plays a certain way, and then you know, it's not until we can actually like set up something for 4 people to play it that we really find out how it does. But I think what's been really interesting to us about that is that when 4 people get in, I think strategically it just becomes a very different game as well. So the same sort of play style decisions
like tennis,
are just
right?
different.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So now you start saying, oh well, you know, when you're playing singles, there's a lot of play at the high level about like, okay, how am I going to push this guy around and then try to inch up on the net on him? Yeah. Whereas in doubles now, maybe you just have someone dedicated to that. Right. Like, is that a good play style to play front back, or you want to play sides, or what? And so
it's almost like football formation when you have doubles, because you can say I'm in a take zone or man, right? Like you can make those decisions.
And that's where you kind of feel the depth sort of comes from. You know, like we're just big believers in the fact that you don't need 20 buttons to have a deep game. You don't need to have like 10 pages of frequently asked questions like, how do I play this character? It's like those games are great, but like there's accessible games of depth that's built into that sort of stuff. Like, I mean, like, can I get to corner no matter what throw they do? Things like that, like, are just kind of like things we wanted to hit early. And as soon as we had that honed in, we started showing it.
Yeah, and I think we also realized early on that there was sort of there's like a spectrum of design decisions that you make in a game like this, where you can either go for like, is the depth in the mechanical complexity of what you're trying to execute on controller? Like when we say, oh, like you just did this amazing move, right? That's like, is it a killer move because you just executed something that was really difficult to do on the controller and your timing was excellent? Or was it because like, you know, in a more cerebral sense, like your strategy was just that good, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we went with a little bit of both. I think we're definitely more on the cerebral side, that where we're trying to like tennis, I think it's a lot about shot selection, and you got to be thinking like several
setting up your next shot, that kind of stuff, like just like pushing your other opponent
and so
around.
The depth is really like in the choices of things you can do rather than in the mechanical.
Yeah, and like I like what you talked about earlier. It's one of those like easy to dive in, really hard to hone in your strategy and be a master of everything. We're finally seeing a lot of games come back to a core set of mechanics as opposed to progression systems that you make one side OP or the other, like you mentioned before. It's refreshing to see that right now. And it's just one more of those things that I like games like sports in a lot of ways. Like I like to play them more, so I get better at my skill in the game. Versus this person's been playing more than me, and they have the competitive advantage that I can never catch up with because now they're always going to be a step ahead. And so again, that's super refreshing.
And it's surprising. We kind of find as just like patrons and game players and fans, like we don't find that there's a lot of service down to like that type of gamer, and it's just something that those are the games that that we're just so avid about playing. I mean, like Jay and I just literally just were like looking for games like this online, and we're like, let's just make one.
Couldn't find NBA Jam plus Frisbee, plus tons of particle effects. Yeah.
Like we played NBA Jam that night. You know what I mean? It's like one of those like arcade nights where it's like, let's just go and like we're having so much fun.
You like said the moment like everything else went dark, the TV just shined. You guys floated from the couch and knew what you had to do. It was this moment of inspiration. All right, so you're showing at E3. You said it's a new E3 build. What else is new about the game right now?
So we should also mention quickly that our website, discjamgame.com, has the sign up for our alpha. Oh, yeah. Anybody can play it right now. We're in pre-alpha right now. Alpha meaning feature complete, which we're not yet, but pre-alpha, we're just, as soon as we were able to have a functional, international build online, people can play in any region. We hosted it. So if you go to our website, you can get a Steam key, and then we'll be hosting periodic play tests, and we stream those. And
it seems like a very streamable game too.
And like it's like one of those things that like we've not done a ton of marketing for yet because it is so early. But the people who have found it have been just like, can I put this on my channel? It's like absolutely. Just like get it on there. There's a lot of good taunts and dances, and like you can get pretty good character, your skin selection. So definitely want to encourage all that. But yeah, so like our last playtest was actually 2 or 3 months ago now.
Yeah.
And we really just heads down. As soon as we found out we were going to be here, we battened the hatches, disappeared from our social media channels and all of our forward-facing community stuff, and just been getting ready to get. So a lot of new stuff went in. Like I mentioned before, the character customization and multiple skins and just full customizations in there now.
Yeah. Oh, we saw that in the trailer. I know you guys probably can't see it from where you're sitting, but we do keep rolling your the clip of the video footage. And yeah, the customization is really intense. You can change their skin to be like crazy materials too, and all that. It's really neat. Yeah, I like that.
You want to show up online and see that like purple guy with green hair, I'm like, not him again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, then you get like the barbarian, and you got like some camo people.
They start adding sort of like bits and bobs to just like really like tailor your thing there. I was like, I'm making my dude so cool looking. So when I get in there, it's kind of we're passionate about that stuff, and people seem to like it. So you want to make sure we highlighted that. And then if you see the trailer, you'll kind of see that front end menu. We're really proud of how the UI flow all works. With the background matchmaking, all of our stuff is seamless background. So with the new engine, Unreal Engine's not super new anymore, but like you don't see like it was no small effort to get like all of that back end stuff invisible to the players, so they can go to the stats, they can go to their character, they can move around the game and like hang out in the arena and spin around your character and stuff while you're matchmaking and doing all stuff behind the scenes.
It's
like,
just happening, right? Like,
yeah, we're pretty proud of
a bunch of workers back there doing.
Yeah, it's just like do all the, like that was before it was just kind of a sort of like more synchronous matchmaking flow, traditional UI, like pick your match, off you go, wait for your thing, da da da. Just like the whole seamless stuff it was a big technological achievement, I think. Like, I'm really happy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think for anyone that played the last playtest, you see it's like just very programmer art, right? I mean, it was like bare bones, like this is what we need for people to like be able to jump in and start checking it out, and now it's like, okay, like did a lot of rebranding. Did a lot of rebranding, now it's like, okay, this is like what it's gonna actually look like. Here's, we decided how we want to do, the whole customization flow, which is like, what people don't realize, I think, a lot when they're making the game is like that last 10% is 90%, right?
It's 90% and the second 90%.
Yeah, it's true.
It's absolutely true.
Right.
It's surprising. Yeah. Like,
and so
you always think you budget your time, and then all of a sudden it's like, we didn't think about.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And you get your whole game, and you're like, now.
Because you think you're right there. It's like we've been hosting playtests; they've been going fine. Like there's,
everyone's playing.
Not a lot of crashes reported, if any, and like
all the animations models, it's all in there, and then someone's like, oh, the UX, yeah.
And we're looking at, you know what? Our scoreboard is still like a floating poly, and that like we painted that.
Should we fix that?
Yeah. It's like,
did we do some print strings in there? Oops.
Yeah. So we like all of a sudden it's like we have to like author. How's the scoreboard gonna look? And like have that conversation. Like, okay, drop everything. Let's make a scoreboard and like how it's gonna look. Fit in the world. How's the art vibe to it? Is it like fit in the kind of future arena? Like no, it's a little bit too like heavy industrial. Let's make it a little more sleek. Like all of a sudden like that happens like a week ago. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things. Just like no matter how much you budget your time, no matter how detailed your to-do list is, which being two-person studio, that priority is everything. Like a big reason for here is like, all right.
Well, at least you only have to convince one person.
Yeah,
right. So we should do this right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's good. Yeah, I mean like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just things like, in our last playtest build, right, you match make, and then once you're in, you just sort of choose the character you're going to play, and then you play, right? Yeah. And so just going from something like that to we want to have customization, so then you got to choose it outside. That changes your whole UI flow. Then you also need stats back in. You need to save that online somewhere. It's just all that stuff.
It changes the entire data flow for how you're tracking information, right?
Exactly. So, and all that's online now. Like we're really excited. Like our entire backend's ready to rock, so like that's this early in the project. We're really excited to have that because that's how we invalidate build. That's how we handle our key server. That's how we do all of our kind of like exciting behind the scenes stuff that make people able to discover it simply. And like that's a big part of like hopefully the success of this game. Like, big reason that people even heard about it was because of we had our online sort of pre-alpha when we first had a build up, and we didn't know it was gonna be 10 people. We had 100,000 keys claimed.
Oh wow!
Like that was exciting to us. We're a player versus player game, and we don't have dedicated servers. We'd be bankrupt by now if we did. So like, it was great because we had we had a community of like 80 guys in France who like played all 12 hours of our playtest, every minute of it, even though on their timeline it was like from like 2 to 6 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
it was just really exciting to see. That would not have been possible without sort of like that kind of clever back end stuff that we've been doing. So that's great. And also just like the more new stuff. I mean, if you look at the old footage from IndieCade, and I think there's is this
it's on YouTube. Yeah.
If you look at the delta there between the two videos, like just the art's come a long way. You know, like basically when we were making the first build, it was like, I don't care how ugly it is, let's have it work and be in there. And then like we'll iterate, you know, just keep it going.
It's the right way to approach it, right? Like it's actually accurately communicating where you are in development, but you can prove fun without visuals a lot, right? Like,
you know,
I saw some of the original, the proof of concept that they pitched Splatoon on, and it's all gray. It's boxes with tubes, you know.
That's
Like, when you see that, and you have people play at that level, where you bring it visually just makes it richer and more inviting, and like makes the whole overall experience better. But the gameplay being like the core part of the experience that you focus on.
Yeah,
And
we definitely agree. Yeah,
it's a tough, you know, that's always like a tough call, especially early in development, right? So do you do the beautiful corner where you're like,
Exactly.
this is it's
So people
not,
talk
there's
about it,
nothing,
share it,
this
right?
is like what it looks
Yeah.
like, and I promise it's going to be like beautiful, and like the game will be there, or do you say like, this is the game, and like I know it looks terrible, but it'll look good one day.
Just
And
play
both
it.
are awful, right?
yeah,
But,
it's always like it's funny because like you see some people go art first, and it's like you see art first, like this looks amazing. You see how beautiful that is, and you go ahead, it's like it's not all there yet. Okay,
Yeah.
like I mean, it's gonna be great when it's all there.
You walk around and say, yeah, we're gonna have like rich progression systems. You know, it's like, we're gonna have bigger scope.
There's the other 90%. So yeah, just like if you can look at the delta, like you know, like the new hair shader came online with 412. Was that 411? 411. And you know, just doing a full character revamp was a lot of fun. You know, it's like we were happy with the characters. I mean, IndieCade, the characters look great. And we're like, that's people are responding to it. It's nice. That's like, nice little warm fuzzy feeling. But then,
But now they don't have to be balded.
now we look at them side by side and we're just like, oh man, dude, can we showed that? Like, they're all bald.
That's what's
like,
so funny to us is, you like,
We're
6
so
months ago,
proud of
you
it.
can look at the stuff we're doing, and we were
We're like-
so
we're like,
proud
yes,
of the
like,
moment,
that was
you know?
like-
Then
we
you look
came
at
in
it
just
6
like
months
guns
later, you're like,
blazing.
Eric, you're like, I can't
Yeah,
believe we showed that.
that means that means you're very passionate about the work you're doing, and your game is progressing the way you want it to go, right?
Yeah.
So that's great to hear. We're gonna have to wrap a little earlier today than normal. We'll take it back over to Alex. So just a couple more things. Where can people find out more about High Horse and about
Yeah,
Disc Jam?
so our website is highhorseentertainment.com. Disc Jam's official website is discjamgame.com. And also, we should announce right now,
Oh, right.
it's official as of today. Sony has announced us coming to PlayStation 4. So we're
Excellent.
really excited to announce our console plans there. Sony's been just an amazing partner since they discovered us. They've just been, supporting us, getting us through their processes for getting console ready to go, and it's just been really encouraging how into the IP they are. And so
Awesome.
we're going to be on Sony's live stream at 2:15 for that official announcement with them. But
2:15 Pacific.
2:15
So
Pacific
if you
will be
want
on
to dial in and check that out, it'll be
Definitely.
at 5 p.m. our time or Raleigh time.
we've been making console games for the last 10 years each, and so we hosting our playtest on Steam. And it's definitely a simultaneous release, and Steam. We're big PC gamers and big we're equal citizens in our mind. But we're really excited to do both and have console be a big part of it.
Yeah, it certainly plays best with like a gamepad.
So that's the thing, I wanna sit on my couch
Game
and play
design
this,
for
right?
it. The game design
Yeah,
for
and
it.
the cool thing about the game is like, because you can play 2v2, it's me and you can sit on the couch. We don't need to split the screen because of the camera angle, and then we can play other teams online. So,
Yeah.
So,
That's
so
great.
you can have 2 people playing here and then 2 people online, or can you have all 4 people be couch co-oping?
We have
all of it.
split screen already in there. We have any combination
Oh.
of 4 people, remote or local. So you can have 3 people split the screen and go jet somebody else in the 4th slot.
And then, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just,
Yeah,
wow.
I love that.
Cool.
So I think Couch Co-op is shut back up.
just bringing the arcade home. It's all we want to do is bring the arcade back. You know what I mean? It's like those games are fun still. They just get people in their gym.
Totally. That's awesome. And I think you're at High Horse
High Horse Entertainment.
Entertainment on
And
Twitter.
on Twitter,
Oh,
we're
High
at-
Horse Games.
yeah,
Yeah,
at
at High Horse Games. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna probably try to do our best to check out the live stream there. I'm going to be kind of running around
you
on the
guys
floor
will be
here and
busy.
there, but
A
we
lot
appreciate.
of
That's
Unreal
crazy
Engine games to
place.
see.
Yeah, we're really glad you could join us today.
Thank you guys for
Thanks so
hosting
much.
us. It's really a pleasure to talk to you guys
We
about the
are
project.
super stoked about the game.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be out again
Awesome.
and see where you've come. I saw a little bit last night at the mix where you're showing. I want to just playing. So
Sure.
before we head out, I want to mention one more thing. You might head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Unreal Engine. We have an E3 2016 playlist that has just
Yes.
gone up, and we are putting out dev interviews from Daniel Kaiser and myself, who was on last week
Mm-hmm.
on the live stream, where we're talking to developers everywhere. We've already got the Turing Test team, Bulkhead, Joe Bramer and I talked yesterday. We talked to the We Happy Few team, Compulsion Games. A number of those are going up, and we've got even more to come. So keep an eye on that playlist. It's going to be growing over the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
All right, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, you good?
Thanks, Alex.
Oh yeah. I know you guys got places to be, so we'll see you guys around.
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having us, Alex.
Yeah.
And Shelly,
Thanks a lot, guys.
you're incredible. Kick off that game jam. Love everybody. We'll see you around.
Yep. So everybody needs to go check that out. Ooh, let me get rid of this. All right. You ready?
No.
Wait.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I mean, I'm gonna move this over here real fast. All right. So everybody, as they had just said, and oh, my title's way over here, so I gotta lean. All right. So there you go.
Fix it.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, there you go. Nice. Cool. So right. I guess you must be kind of excited because the June Game Jam is about to kick off. I'm going to go press a button right now, and it's going to make the thing happen. And that's always exciting. So all of you at home, get ready for this one. All right. And then over here, Shelly, hang on. Okay, Shelly. So here it is. Your theme is Fire in the Hole. All right, so yes, for this particularly sweltering June here in North America, it's been pretty hot, and so I had thrown a bunch of fire and summer and heat related things out there into our idea pit, and this is the one that kind of rose to the top. Thank you, Jess, so much for helping with deciding on the theme, and Chance, of course, too. So yeah, it's there. I see chat's ready. It's time to happen. All right, guys. So that's that for now. Go on there. You've got until Monday. So we've got just a few days to do this, as usual. I know that this is a little bit off because of, I know everyone was kind of expecting it to be last week, as I explained on the forums, due to E3 and all that. We wouldn't have been able to kick it off last week, spend this week judging it, and then announce a couple weeks after because we just wouldn't have had the judgment time. So now we will have plenty of time to judge the games, play them through properly, and all that. So thank you all so much for participating and everything. Cool. So yeah, I think that's about all that we have for today. And yeah, cool. How you feeling, Shelly?
I'm good.
You good? Feeling good? Cool. we had her really worked up earlier. So it's now that the thing is settled, everything's nice and settled and happy. So yep, we'll be seeing you all. We'll be seeing you all next week. On Tuesday, we got another great training stream. I'm not sure if we've actually got it announced yet, so we'll see then. And I'm just really excited for this one. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So see y'all.